Joining us today to sing the national anthem is the Central Coast Harmony Chorus. They've sung for the blues for many years and have entertained local audiences for over 60 years. Take a moment to rise now and remove your caps.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you to the Central Coast Harmony Chorus.
Well, the Blues look to get redemption against the San Francisco Seagulls just a little under 24 hours later. An embarrassing loss last night against San Francisco by the tune of 15-2. The Blues trying to rectify themselves today against the last place team in the CCL North as SLO fights for a playoff spot. Here's the starting lineup for the visiting San Francisco Seagulls. Leading it off, it's the center fielder Josh Hansen, with Alan Ramirez, the second baseman, batting second. Caden Victorian's the shortstop, batting third, with Ethan Johnson batting fourth. Matt Galvin's the left fielder, batting fifth, and batting sixth is the catcher Ethan Bergen. Jackson Bird, the second left-handed hitter in today's lineup, plays first and bats seventh, with Jake Brewer playing third and batting eighth. Mark Sue rounds it out in the ninth spot for San Francisco. He plays right field. Here's a defensive alignment for your hometown team since 1946, San Luis Obispo Blues. Nico Button throws down the signs behind home plate, with Cade O'Hara playing first base. A different look today for Dean Traynor. Diego Murillo at second, with Sam Ardois at third. Brady Alves is at shortstop. The outfield left to right is Jake Hicksonbaugh, E.J. Royal, and Kosei Suzuki, with Zach Tallerman DHing for the Blues. And on the mound, the right-hander, formerly from Oregon, Ryan Featherston, coming off a dominant outing against the Walnut Creek Crawdads on July 5th, where he hurled 6 innings, 5 hits, 6 strikeouts, no earned runs against the Walnut Creek team, which sits atop of the CCL North standings right now.
Yeah, he's been a beast for the Blues this summer. 17 innings pitched, 12 strikeouts to his 3 walks. Hasn't given up a single earned run in his 17 innings with a 1 whip. 4-pitch guy. Fastball slider is going to be that primary, but he'll throw the changeup. He'll throw the curveball from time to time, but expect him to work that fastball, and then that slider is his out pitch.
He has yet to give up an earned run in league play. He played against the Foresters, too, on June 18th. He started against them. This is the best team in the entire CCL, and in 6 innings of work, he struck out 1 guy, but didn't allow any earned runs on 5 hits. Here's the first batter, and Josh Hansen. And he dances out of the way of a fastball, but it hits the inner half of the zone at 4:04 p.m., a picturesque afternoon on the Central Coast, with the temperatures at 69 degrees and sunny. Very nice. Here's the 0-1. Hansen takes this fastball on the outer black. 0-2 to the center fielder, leading off for the Gulls.
The Seagulls team that pieced up every single pitcher that the Blues threw last night, so Featherston will look to give a quality start to San Luis Obispo.
From the windup, here he comes. 0-2, a yanked slider outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Featherston hails from Bakersfield, California. The right-handed pitcher is 6'1", 218 pounds. 1-2. Driven into left center, it falls for a base hit. a 2-strike knock for the leadoff man, Josh Hansen. And a leadoff single for the Seagulls.
Hansen got all of that one, 99, right on the screws. And it's a leadoff knock. Hansen's one of the more dangerous hitters in this lineup today, leading it off for the Seagulls. He shows why right there with that one that was pieced into left center field.
That's the first of the day for the Gulls. They collected 15 last night in their victory against the Blues. In steps Alan Ramirez now. Ramirez takes the first pitch fastball outside for ball 1. The second baseman is playing the same position and batting in the same spot today as he did last night against the Blues, where he went 3 for 6 against San Luis Obispo. 1-0. Ramirez off the hands and bleeds it into left field, a base hit. Back-to-back singles for San Francisco, and they're continuing this energy that they ran into last night on the offensive side.
And the Seagulls they have the Blues number this season. I mean, at least at Sinsheimer. I mean, even when you go back to last year, they swept the Blues here at the Blues home ballpark. So something about this area just makes San Francisco play better baseball.
Well, now runners are on first and second, and that brings up Caden Victorian, who had the best day of any Seagull yesterday. 4 for 7 with 2 runs driven in. First pitch, it's a slider. A called strike to the shortstop, Victorian, 0-1. The Seagulls rank dead last in league batting average this summer at .213. And as you said, Ryan, they got the Blues read like a book. The 0-1. Victorian bounces it over the head of Featherston, but the second baseman, Murillo, taps second himself and throws it over to first to turn the double play. Does it get more suave than that, Ryan?
No, it does not. I mean, Diego Murillo is a stud up the middle for the Blues. I couldn't tell you the last time in a game where Murillo doesn't make a play where I'm like, dang, this guy's good.
Just makes it look so easy. He had an acrobatic diving catch yesterday against San Francisco late in the ball game. That was in the top of the 6th off the bat of Josh Hansen, who now advances to third on that ground ball out. Hansen does. So now it's Ethan Johnson. First pitch, Johnson takes it for strike 1 with Hansen now at third following that double play from Diego Murillo, who did it all by himself. The 0-1. Missing downstairs, and Ethan Johnson now sits in a 1-1 count. Johnson didn't start yesterday against the Blues, but he is one of San Francisco's best players as a Missouri commit. 1-1. Tap foul at home plate, and now a 2-strike count to the San Jose, California native Johnson, who will head to the heartland of the United States in the fall to play some SEC baseball and join former Blue Don Jordan, who recently committed to play for the Tigers.
Yeah, I was just going to say, he's going to become very familiar with a familiar face here.
Don Jordan now no longer a part of the team with the Blues. His stint is over. 1-2. Pitch is taken, strike 3. Like Picasso on the inner part of the zone, he paints that corner at 90 miles an hour and locks up Ethan Johnson for the final out of the inning. Seagulls strand a runner on third, but back-to-back base hits to begin this ball game. We head into the bottom half of the first inning on the SLO Blues streaming network. Unassisted double play from Diego Murillo in the top of the first, capped off with a K from Ryan Featherston, who looks good again in his 4th league start for the Blues. Now let's meet your starting San Luis Obispo Blues offense. E.J. Royal leads it off and plays center with Jake Hixenbaugh playing in left, batting second. Zach Tellerman, the DH, bats third with the third baseman Artois cleaning it up. Diego Murillo, the second baseman, will bat 5th. Batting 6th, it's Kosei Suzuki who plays in right. Nico Button is today's catcher. He bats left-handed and 7th in the order. Kate O'Hara is today's first baseman, batting 8th for the Blues, with Brady Alves rounding it out in the 9th spot, playing at short. Here's a defensive alignment for San Francisco. Bergen's behind the dish. Bird at first, Ramirez at second. Brewer at third with Victorian at short. Outfield left to right, Galvin, Hansen, and Zhu with Johnson DHing. And on the mound for the Gulls, it's the right-hander Jackson Shefsky, who is making his second start in 2025. And it's been a bit of a rough go for him. In 17 innings of work, he has a 6.88 earned run average, 18 hits allowed in those 17 innings pitched, and 7 hit batters. Blues have to feast on Shefsky if they want to collect a W today. So here's Royal, who had a pretty solid day amidst what was a gloomy game for the Blues, as he takes the first pitch up and away from Shefsky for ball 1. In that 15-3 loss against the 7-21 San Francisco Seagulls, EJ went 2 for 4 with an RBI. Royal, the leadoff man, in the driver's seat against Shefsky as he sits in a 2-0 count. And when will the defenses learn that Royal likes to hit it right back up the middle? It's wide open there. EJ bounces it on home plate. It's a fair ball. The catcher, Bergen, has a miscommunication with the pitcher, Shefsky, but the throw goes to first in time to retire Royal for the first out.
And Royal tried to go back up the middle with that one, but he just got a little on top of it and still was almost able to leg it out.
So the pitcher, Shefsky, ended up throwing it over to Bird at first. EJ couldn't quite leg it out. And as you said, that bat angle might have been a little too steep on that swing for EJ. And that brings up Jake Hixenbaugh. The Lobo from CSU Pueblo takes the first pitch low and outside from Shefsky for ball 1. Last time Hixenbaugh started, it was on June 27th against the Santa Maria Indians. He went 1 for 3 there with a pair of walks, scored 2 runs, and stole a base as well. High and outside, 2 balls and no strikes to Hicks. The last home league game that Jake Hixenbaugh started, well, you'd have to turn your calendar back to June 6th against the Menlo Park Legends. He's waited his turn, and he's getting an opportunity here against the Seagulls on a wonderful afternoon. 2-0. 3-0 count now to Jake Hixenbaugh. And with a guy who doesn't have as many plate appearances or at-bats as he would hope for in a 3-0, wonder if he swings. He will not. He takes strike 1.
You know, and Hixenbaugh knows what his specialty is, and that's honestly just tearing it up on the base pass. So he's going to be patient up there, wait for his pitch, and then rip it, but he'd love a walk too.
3-1, it slices into left center, falls for a base hit. Hixenbaugh slaps a single with 1 out.
And I mentioned the woes at the plate. It's his first hit in league play, so it's a good one for him. Get it off your chest, and now, as I mentioned, he could be a menace on the pass. He's probably going first or second pitch. I would not be surprised. He might even put a hit and run on with Tollerman, who's a good bat-to-ball guy.
In the few games Hixenbaugh has played in 2025, he has 5 stolen bases. To be exact, he's played in 13 games, so 5 stolen bags in 13 games. He was last season's stolen base leader with 22. Tollerman takes the first pitch low and outside. That's ball 1.
He might take a pitch or 2 over there to figure out what the release looks like from the pitcher and stuff like that, and figure out, you know, when he can get his jump.
He goes now. The 1-0's in the dirt. Catcher Bergen can't find it, and Hixenbaugh's at second base standing.
Yeah, you knew it was happening.
Got a good jump, too.
I mean, if Vegas had a line on Hixenbaugh stealing second there, minus 10,000. He was going to try at least.
Sure, we could go to the Chumash Casino and place that bet. 2-0 to Tollerman. Zach flinches on a fastball inside, but it's a called strike, 2-1. ZT last made his start on July 10th, just a couple days ago against the Santa Barbara Foresters. Went 1 for 3 in that game, drove in 2 runs, struck out twice, hit a sacrifice fly, and walked. Tollerman leaves his pitch high, 3 balls and a strike now to Zach. Tollerman enters today's game as arguably the most productive bat in this Blues roster in 2025 of people that are available that are still on the team. 3-1. Tollerman takes it, strike 2.
Speaking of people who are available and on the team, this guy's not available tonight, but he's back.
Mason Ashlock returns to the Blues roster. Had some complications with his eyes, missed a road trip because he was checking out his pupils, and apparently everything appears to be dialed in after committing to Rice. Payoff pitch is taken in the dirt, and that's a walk to Zach Tollerman with 1 out. Hixenbaugh's at second, and Tollerman's at first. The Blues are cooking with gas with Sam Ardois digging in.
Yeah. Tollerman's walk numbers have steadily increased throughout the season. He has now recorded at least 1 walk in his last 3 starts. And, I think it's because these pitchers are figuring out, man, this guy's good. I don't really want to throw strikes to him. And so he's just being patient up there and taking his free 90s.
To contextualize his effectiveness, Zach Tollerman leads the team in OPS at 997. That's very good. A 447 on base, so he almost gets on base 50% of the time, and a 550 slugging. Add those two together, 997. First pitch to Ardois. Hixenbaugh takes off to third. The throw goes down. Head first slide. He's in there safely. Death taxes and Jake Hixenbaugh swiping bags on you.
Yeah, and honestly, Tollerman's still at first, and I think it was the smart play because if the catcher, Bergen, saw Tollerman going, he probably would have just thrown down to second base and let Hixenbaugh steal third.
Here's Ardois, 1-0. Pitch inside, 2-0. And Zach Tollerman also famously dealing with an ankle injury as well, so don't want to push it too much, stealing bases. He's DHing today instead of playing first. Shefsky delivers. Tollerman goes. The throw goes down. Zach slides, and he's safe. His long, lanky legs touched the bag before Ramirez could slap the tag. The perks of being 6'5".
Man, I guess so. He unhooked the trailer to get down to second on that one, and wow, Zach Tollerman with his first stolen base of the season.
I had 2 runners in scoring position. And that was a strike to Sam Ardois, so he sits in a 2-1 count. Pitch misses low and outside. Bergen keeps it in front. Ardois this summer has 13 runs driven in his 29 hits, and I think they'll just put him on first. Was just about to go into the damage that Ardois has. It'll actually be a walk. Some miscommunication on the count. I believe we got lost in translation on that stolen bag from from Zach Tollerman. So a meeting at the mound now for San Francisco. And the pitching coach and Cage Cascone is on the hill. A brief conversation with Jackson Shefsky as the bases are now loaded. Back-to-back walks, 1 issued to Tollerman, 1 to Ardois. ZT's at second, Ardois at first, and Hixenbaugh's at third. It's Diego Murillo who has been seeing it really well lately.
In his last 2 days, he's 6 for 8 with a double. A bunch of RBIs as well, too, to be exact. Scored a couple of runs, stole a couple of bags.
Pitch gets away from the catcher Bergen, and Hixenbaugh will score the first run of the game. 1-0 San Luis Obispo on a wild pitch from Jackson Shefsky.
And there's the menace on the base pass right there coming out. Steals second, steals third, scores on a wild pitch. Didn't even need any production from the people behind him to score a run. That's what Hicksonbaugh is good at.
Just manufactured his own run right there. 2 in scoring position now. Murillo bounces it the opposite way. The first baseman, Bird, picks it on a hop, goes home, and they can't apply the tag. Bergen thought there was a force out at home. He just had his foot on the bag and forgot to slap Tellerman with his glove.
That was an odd play all around because, yeah, you mentioned Bergen completely forgot, and then when he caught it, he was like, oh, shoot, I got to tag this man. But then Tellerman didn't slide. He was like, I'm just going to walk in here as if, they were making the play at first base.
It almost seemed like Tellerman also thought there was a force at the plate, because that would be the only thing that I could think of as to why he wouldn't slide. Either way, runners at the corners and Suzuki's up. Kosei takes the first pitch high and inside, and Murillo with a delayed steal. 2 days in a row with a delayed steal for Murillo.
He's just picking up on something that these pitchers are doing, and it's working.
So Murillo's at second, Ardois at third, and it's Kosei Suzuki who drove in a run against the Foresters on July 10th. Pitch low and outside. Bergen throws his body on top of it. 2 balls and no strikes to Kosei. The right fielder started 2 days ago against the Foresters. Went 1 for 4, an RBI single.
Might go unnoticed, but Diego Murillo's been a menace on the pass himself with 4 stolen bases in the last 3 games now.
That was his 10th of the summer as he delayed steal to second base. Here's the 3-0. Suzuki dodges a pitch inside, and he'll take first base. Third walk of the inning, loads the bases for San Luis Obispo, and Nico Button looks to unload him.
Blues are just being patient against Shefsky, who's having a really tough time finding the strike zone. It's exactly what you should do. Wait until he throws you a good pitch down the middle of the plate, right in your sweet spot, and then hit it as hard as you can.
This game is night and day compared to yesterday. Yesterday against San Francisco with Finn Whalen starting, the Blues went 1-2-3 in the bottom half of the first inning. Finn went a long ways in that ball game, pitching in 7 innings for San Francisco, allowing no runs, or 2 runs, check that. And today already, Jackson Shefsky struggling against these Blues. So it's Nico Button, who started 3 days ago against Santa Barbara down south at Eddie Matthews Field. He went 1 for 4, scored a run, 2. Button takes the first pitch for a called strike, 0-1. E.J. Royal grounded back to the pitcher to begin this inning. Since then, a hit from Hicksonbaugh, 2 walks, a fielder's choice, and another walk have produced 2 runs. Button flares it the opposite way, and it's foul. A nice afternoon here at Sinsheimer Stadium. You see a fan wearing a powder blue Ozzie Smith jersey, former Cal Poly Mustang. That's some drip right there. Might put that in my cart right now, as a matter of fact. Bases loaded, 0-2. Pitch bounces inside, and it hit Button on the back foot. A changeup that got out of the way of Shefsky. Sam Ardois trots in to score. It's a 3-0 lead now for the Blues. Sam Ardois scores. Murillo moves to third. Suzuki into second. Kate O'Hara, who has been struggling at the plate as of lately, has a chance to really bust this game wide open in the bottom of the first. Leave no doubt behind, especially after an embarrassing loss last night. First pitch, O'Hara moves his arms above a curveball inside, 1-0 to O'Hara. 0 for 3 yesterday against the Seagulls. A pair of strikeouts and a walk as well. The 1-0. O'Hara leaves it for the Birds, 2 balls and no strikes.
And you mentioned O'Hara's struggles at the plate. A great way to get your feet back under you is drawing a walk, and the Blues could extend their lead 4-0 right here if O'Hara draws a walk. He's also put himself in a hitter's count. He might get a good pitch to hit in a spot he likes.
2-0 against Shefsky. O'Hara takes down the middle for strike one. And Cade batting south of 200 this season for the Blues. He's making his 15th start this afternoon. Has 9 hits in his 52 at-bats. He's only driven in 4. The 2-1. O'Hara tardy on a fastball as he dribbles it in front of the Blues bullpen down the right field line for strike 2. 2-2 to Cade with 1 out. Murillo at third, Kosei Suzuki at second, and Nico Button at first. Hicksenbaugh, Tallerman, and Ardois have all scored this inning. It's 3-0 San Luis Obispo in the bottom half of the first against the San Francisco Seagulls. Shefsky's in the stretch to Cade as a righty gets loose in the pen. O'Hara takes a flying saucer low and outside. That's ball 3. Full count to O'Hara with 1 out. Cade has not grounded into a double play this summer. Payoff. O'Hara late on a fastball, sends it straight back, and will do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. O'Hara still uncommitted after hitting the portal after a season at Texas. The payoff. O'Hara sends it up and out of the stadium, staying alive in this at-bat. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
All sponsored by Hells Construction. If you can find it, it's yours.
White sleeve, white batting gloves, white pants. Reflecting in the batter's box. Shefsky steps off. (3-2). O'Hara takes it low. That's ball 4. Bases loaded walk brings across the 4th run of the inning for San Luis Obispo. Slowly but surely they pile on against the Seagulls. And already San Francisco is going to their bullpen. Mark Caviglia makes the move, and we'll introduce you to the new right-hander right after this. Blues up 4-0 in the bottom of the first on the Slow Blue Streaming Network. New pitcher into the game for San Francisco. The starter, Jackson Shefsky, couldn't even get out of the first inning. He could only record 1 out, and it was against the first batter he faced. The Blues are about to bat around with Brady Alves stepping in and the bases loaded. Alves' first pitch swinging against the new noodle McGrady and sends it back for strike 1. Shefsky in a 3rd innings pitched allowed a hit, 4 walks, no strikeouts, and still TBD on the runners as all 3 on base are under his name. Here's Alves in an open stance, squatting in the right-handed batter's box. The 0-1. Alves flinches and takes the slider in there for a strike. McGrady is a uncommitted junior from Santa Barbara Community College and a native of Doylestown, Pennsylvania, making his 13th appearance of the summer for San Francisco, an 8 earned run average. 0-2. Alves with a slow roller down the third baseline, and it's foul. He's made 5 starts for the Gulls, but comes out of the bullpen today. In 27 and a third innings pitched, the new pitcher McGrady has struck out 12, walked 15, and given up 36 hits. Here's the 0-2. Alves swings and misses, strike 3. McGrady climbs the ladder, and Brady Alves chases it for the second out of the inning.
Number 50, E.J. Royal.
Blues have officially batted through the order as the man who led off this inning, E.J. Royal, is up again. E.J. actually recorded the first out of this bottom of the first with a ground ball back to the pitcher who was then Jackson Shefsky. Now it's Max McGrady. In a bases loaded situation, 2 outs. E.J. takes a slider and a called strike. McGrady stands at 6'2", 210 pounds. The 0-1. Royal takes another slider. This time it misses below the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike to EJ. Crystal clear skies in SLO today, matching the color scheme of the San Francisco Seagulls with their blue hats and blue tops. The 1-1. Royal takes it and a called strike, 1-2. Slider nibbling at the lower outside corner. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Blues up 4-0 in the bottom of the first against the Gulls. EJ leaves an offering low and outside. That's ball 2. Deuce is wild to the center fielder, who had a pair of base hits yesterday, one of them producing a run. 2 for 4 against San Francisco, off the hangover of a 15-3 loss. The 2-2. Royal bounces it to third. Brewer vacuums it up, throws it to second to get the force out, and the side is retired. 2 ground ball outs for Royal. He started this inning, and he will end it. But the Blues scratch across 4 on a wild pitch, a couple of walks, and a hit by pitch. We head into the second inning, Blues ahead on the SLO Blues streaming network. A balloon inning for San Luis Obispo in the bottom half of the bottom half of the first, 4 runs came across. The Blues have somewhat of a hefty lead against San Francisco. Still within slam range, but leading it off for the Gulls. It's the left fielder batting fifth, Mac Galvin. Raised a few spots after last night's lineup. Galvin flinches and takes strike one. Galvin's the left fielder who went 2 for 4 yesterday with an RBI double. He also scored a run, walked, and struck out twice. The 1-1. Galvin takes it off speed. It's a called strike 1-2. Here's the 1-2. Poked the opposite way, and it's foul. Galvin stays alive in the at-bat against Ryan Featherston, who looks very comfortable out there. San Francisco with the lowest league batting average in the CCL at .213 heading into today's game. 1-2 misses high. Now even 2 balls and 2 strikes. And they have struck out the second most amount of times in the CCL at 286. The team above them with 3 more, the Blues. 2-2. Galvin right back up the middle into center field, a base hit. Hard hit grounder, and he's aboard with a leadoff single in the second.
Another leadoff single for the Gulls. It's back-to-back innings with leadoff singles. That one hit at 94.
Well, last inning with that leadoff base hit from Josh Hansen, he was eventually stranded at third. Alan Ramirez collected a hit right after that and was forced out at second base on an unassisted double play from Diego Murillo. So it's Ethan Bergen now, today's catcher, who DH'd last night for the Gulls with a runner on first base. First pitch from Featherston. Buckles him up on a slider and a called strike 0-1. Bergen was 1 for 5, drove in 2 runs with his double. Also walked, struck out, and scored a run of his own, contributing to 3 of San Francisco's 15 runs last night. Long hold from Featherston. Drilled into left field. Hicksonbaugh dives, makes the catch! Full extension in left field for Jake Hicksonbaugh.
Man, oh man, he produced himself a run in the bottom half of the first inning. Had a little break on the bench after going all the way around, touching all 4 bags, and then right there, turn on the jets to get to that one. Full extension, like Nate mentioned.
Sinking fast, hit off the bat at 95. Hicksonbaugh made the right play at the right time. Big out for Ryan Featherston as there's still a runner on first, and the left-handed hitting Jackson Bird steps up to the dish. Right on left matchup. Bird swings at the first pitch and misses for strike 1. Jackson had a rough night last night against the Blues. Everyone else joined the hit parade, or at least the get on base parade, while Bird was 0 for 6 with 4 punch-outs. With 1 out, the 0-1. Bird takes outside, and now an even 1 ball, 1 strike count to Jackson. Bird, a Sacramento native, played for his hometown university in Sac State before transferring to UC Riverside this past season. 1-1, popped up off the end of the bat to center. Royal takes a couple steps in and makes the grab, and that will be the second out of the second inning. Just got underneath that fastball. Royal just had to make the easy play out in center, as it brings up Jake Brewer with 2 outs. Brewer was 0 for 2 yesterday with a pair of hit by pitches and a pair of walks. Struck out and scored 2 runs. First pitch. Brewer rolls inside of a curveball, and it's taken for a strike. Matt Galvin still on first base following his leadoff single to begin this frame. Blues up 4-0 in the top of the second. Brewer shows bunt and fouls it into the backstop. That's strike 2. Brewer, a San Bruno native, currently uncommitted after 2 pretty good seasons at Kenyatta College, just south of San Bruno. The 0-2. Misses high. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Jake. Brewer has a .300 batting average heading into today's game. No home runs. Has driven in 12 this summer. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. Ryan Featherston waves Brewer goodbye as they strand Matt Galvin on first base. The Blues are still up 4-0 heading to the bottom half of the second inning on the SLO Blues streaming network. Bottom of the second is brought to you by our friends at SLO County Golf. They offer 3 courses in SLO, Morro Bay, and Atascadero, and they also offer a unique combination of affordable prices and beautiful scenery. Book your next tee time at slocountygolf.com. Jake Hicksonbaugh leads off this inning for the Blues, and he swings and misses at the first pitch he sees from Max McGrady. McGrady came in to replace Jackson Shefsky, today's starting pitcher, in the first, who only recorded 1 out. The 0-1, Hicksonbaugh takes it outside in an even 1-1 count now. The Blues in the bottom of the first scored 4 runs on 1 hit. The 1-1, Hicksonbaugh takes it outside. In the driver's seat against McGrady, 2-1, is the Colorado State University Pueblo commit, Jake Hicksonbaugh. Jake just came off the bench and made a great play out left and is 1 for 1 today. Hicks sends it up the middle. Make that 2 for 2.
Have yourself a day, Jake Hicksonbaugh.
A single in the first and now a single in the second. He's perfect so far as Zach Tellerman comes up to the dish. Tellerman has been as close to perfection as you could ask for this summer for the Blues. Mentioned his numbers the last time he was up. 997 OPS. That's going to play. A 350 batting average as well. A pretty solid sample size too in 76 games played. This is all while dealing with an injured right ankle. Pick over to first. Hicksonbaugh's back safely with a head-first dive.
And I don't mean to correct you, Nate, but has 76 plate appearances, not 76 games played. That would be insane because there's only 40 games total this summer.
Yes. Tallman takes the first pitch low, ball 1. They don't even play 76 games in Division I baseball.
Yeah, I was going to say, what if this season was 76 games?
Be a long time.
Yeah. Be, little over a third of the way, 40% of the way through the season?
Hicksonbaugh over to first. He got caught in the middle. Didn't know if he should have dove back or been feet first standing, but he did a mix of both as he falls on top of first base. Think about it. I mean, professional ball players and professional broadcasters have 162.
Yeah.
I can't even fathom that.
Yeah, I mean, like, we love what we do, broadcasting games, but I would think once you get to that level, you're like, oh my God, thank God this game's on ESPN tonight. I get the night off.
1-0. Tallerman sends it to center. Hansen with a couple steps to his right makes the grab for the first out of the inning.
So good barrel, 100 off the bat from ZT. Chalk it up as a quality at bat.
Line out to Hansen. There's one gone with Hicksonbot first. And up comes Sam Ardois, today's 4-hole hitter for the Blues. Ardois walked in the first inning and came around to score one of those 4 runs. 2 for 4 yesterday with a double. Has hit at least 1 extra base hit in his past 4 games. Pick over to first. Hicksonbot's back. Hicksonbot takes off. The throw goes down to second. Bounces over the bag. It's not in time, and it's offline. 3rd stolen base of the day for Jake Hicksonbot.
I mean, that's just what he does, man. He produces runs in unorthodox ways. And that was honestly, last year for the Blues, that was kind of their motto. Right? Produce runs in unorthodox ways. He was a big part of that as pretty much the everyday 2-hitter.
Hicksonbot second now with 1 out. Here's the 1-0 Ardois. Sam takes it outside, a slider that sputtered into the other batter's box, 2-0. Diego Murillo stands on deck for San Luis Obispo. He walked as well in the first. Wind blowing straight in from center field. Ardois takes a slider and a called strike, 2-1. A 4-0 ball game. The Blues lead early on against the Seagulls in the bottom half of the second inning at Sinsheimer Stadium. McGrady delivers. Ardois bounces it down the third base line and foul over the head of third base coach Rene Regalado. And we got a perspective today on how hard it is to throw batting practice. It really makes you appreciate how good third base coach Rene Regalado is at throwing BP, because Ryan and I were a couple hacks at the home run derby today. 2-2. Ardois tardy, and he flares it into the Blues bullpen down the right field line at 2-2 once again.
Yeah, it's not easy, especially in the home run derby. Obviously, we don't throw a lot of batting practice normally, but I'm trying to give pitches these guys can turn on and just rip. But I don't want to hit them.
You want to bring it up and inside to get their hands in and elevate it, but there is that fear factor of hitting them as well. 2-2. Ardois sends it into center field, slicing as Hansen makes the grab. Hicksonbot tags from second and will easily run into third base. Another line drive out to center field, and Hicksonbot is on third for the second inning in a row.
Line drive indeed. That one 94 off the bat. So the Blues with back-to-back shots to the center fielder Hansen above 94 miles an hour.
So here's Murillo now with Hicksonbot third, and his squad up 4-0 against the Seagulls. First pitch, Murillo sends it right back up the middle. Base hit. Hicksonbot scores easily from third. Make that 5-0 Blues with 2 outs.
Diego Murillo has been on a tear these last couple of days, man. 7 hits in his last 9 at-bats with 4 RBIs, 4 stolen bases, a couple of runs scored. Man, oh man.
The kid has seen it well. What I love about Diego, too, is that he doesn't put a lot of pressure on himself. He just goes out there and plays the game. He's actually one of the better players I've ever seen to keep that in mind and remember that every day, because it's so easy to get caught up in being uncommitted, trying to find a new school, trying to work on your mechanics. What's the future hold for me, especially in this world of NIL and transfer portal? Murillo just is a kid who plays ball and wants to go out there and get at bats and get reps at second. Suzuki grounded off his front foot, and that's strike one. That's a rare thing in today's game. You don't find a lot of pure baseball players like Diego who play the game for the right reasons. A lot of guys just want to play because they want to wear the gear, they want to post on social media that they're going to some school, but Murillo just loves being at the yard. The 0-1. Suzuki lines it the opposite way, and it's a foul ball. No balls and 2 strikes to Kosei Suzuki. Walked the last time he was up and was stranded at third in the 4-run first inning. Deep side from McGrady, he delivers. 0-2 misses well outside. Murillo, who was almost halfway to second, retreats back to the bag safely. Here's the 1-2. Suzuki cues it into the Blues on deck circle. Button wearing shin pads tries to touch it with his foot. It's still a 1-2 count to Kosei. Suzuki making his 15th start of the summer for San Luis Obispo. A .237 batting average, a .273 on base, and a .356 slugging. Good for a .629 OPS. A 1-2. Pops it up into left field. Galvin goes back in front of the warning track, makes the catch in front of the fence as he crashes into the wall. Suzuki just got underneath that pitch. Deepest part of the park, and the left fielder Galvin makes the catch. Hixenbaugh stranded at third, Murillo stranded at first, but the Blues are ahead 5-0 following an RBI single from Diego Murillo. We head into the third on the Slow Blues streaming network. Mark Zhu leads it off in the top half of the third against Ryan Featherston. Zhu swings and misses at the first pitch he sees for strike one. Featherston cruising along through 2 innings of work, has allowed 3 base hits, but stranded all those runners on. Has yet to walk a guy and has 2 strikeouts. 0-1, a wild hack at a sweeper outside. Mark Zhu now down 0-2 in the count. Blues ahead of the San Francisco Seagulls 5-0 in the top half of the third inning. Here's the 0-2. Zhu goes down swinging. 3 straight sliders in a row for Ryan Featherston. Collects his 3rd K of the day.
That strikeout means it's time for some slow heat brought to you by the Bon Ton Creole Cafe. Lucky number 4968.
Flip it to the top of the order, and Josh Hansen. Hansen singled to begin this ball game. Josh was 2 for 5 yesterday as San Francisco's leadoff man with a walk and a run scored as a part of their 15-3 victory against the Blues. Check swing on the first pitch, and he went around for strike one. Hansen hails from San Francisco, California, proper San Francisco that is, and is a Golden Bear from Cal Berkeley. The 0-1 takes it low and outside. The former Golden Bear Button tried to frame it, but doesn't get the call. 1-1. And Nico Button, today's catcher for the Blues, and Josh Hansen, today's center fielder for the Seagulls, are just missing each other at Berkeley. 1-1. Hansen fouls it off at home plate as it rolls into the backstop for strike two. As Hansen is arriving to Cal, Button is exiting and going to the University of San Diego. Before Cal Berkeley, Josh Hansen was a Trojan from USC. This past season where he was a true freshman, he didn't appear in any games. He utilized a redshirt year. A 1-2. Hansen flares it up and out of the stadium, and we'll do it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Playing a little bit closer to home at Cal Berkeley. Played 4 varsity seasons at the IMG Academy in Florida. 1-2. Hansen takes it low and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Josh. And here's some good ball knowledge for Josh Hansen. His favorite TV show is Hard Knocks.
It's a good one.
Training camp documentary that HBO puts out every summer in the NFL. Fouled off the mid of Button. And again, a 2-2 count. You know, baseball's my number 1 sport, but whenever I watch Hard Knocks on HBO, I'm reminded of how much I love football, too. 2-2 to Hansen. Josh with a slow roller down the third base line. Ardois on the chalk, makes the throw, and Cade O'Hara makes the pick, but he's off the bag. Tried to tag Josh Hansen down the first base line, but he can't quite get it on in time. An infield base hit for Josh Hansen, and he's a perfect 2 for 2 today.
That was going to be a really impressive play from Ardois if he was able to make it on the backhand all the way across the diamond with all of his momentum taking him away from first base. And O'Hara smartly came off the bag instead of trying to stretch it and risking the error.
The first pitch to the 2-hole hitter, Alan Ramirez, is taken inside for ball 1.
We've never seen O'Hara at first, but I would say that was a pretty headsy play. You know, he could stretch and try to make that play happen, but then the error would give the Seagulls an extra 90.
Here's a slow roll to short. Alves slips, and he won't have a play. That's an error by the shortstop, Brady Alves, and Alan Ramirez reaches first base.
And that turf out there can be tough to grab a grip on. Brady Alves just trying to go to second before fielding that ball and got a little crossed up.
A fresh layer of turf is applied to the infield this morning, and with that brings some complications with traction, and you can kind of see that right there with Brady Alves as he slipped and fell before gloving that ground ball. So the inning continues with 1 out. Hansen's at second and Ramirez at first, with Caden Victorian stepping in. Victorian takes outside for ball 1. Victorian's from Los Angeles. Plays in his home city at Cal State LA at the Division II level for the Golden Eagles. 1-0. Takes a strike, now 1-1. 50 hits this past season in his junior year at Cal State LA. A .281 batting average with 22 runs driven in and 2 homers. His wiry 6'1" frame in the batter's box. Checks his swing, they appeal to first, and he did not go around. 2-1 now to Victorian. Caden was 4 of 7 yesterday and drove in 2 for the Gulls. Trying to replicate that production here, down 5 in the first third of this ballgame. Victorian pops it up to the first baseman O'Hara, who's making his first start at that spot for the Blues, and he fields it in foul ground with 2 hands for the second out of the third inning.
That one caught a little bit of a wind stream and just killed all of the momentum of the ball, so O'Hara had to turn on the jets a little bit at the end to make sure he got under that one.
You can kind of tell Cade is still trying to figure out the angles over at first base. He was kind of coasting underneath it at the last second, had to plant a foot in the ground and go. He even fielded that pop fly with his knees bent a little bit just to make sure he was in a good position. So here's Ethan Johnson with 2 outs and 2 runners on. Johnson cues it off the end of the bat. Artois gobbles it up in the infield grass. Couple shuffles and the throw over to first is in time. The side is retired. Hansen and Ramirez are stranded on base. Featherston allows a hit to Hansen with 1 out in the third. No errors and no runs, or 1 error and no runs for San Francisco as we head into the bottom half of the third. Blues up 5-0 on the Slow Blue streaming network. Bottom of the order due up for San Luis Obispo in the bottom half of the third. SLO is up 5-0 against the San Francisco Seagulls. Nico Button leads it off. Button takes the first pitch slider from the right-hander Max McGrady for strike 1. Button, a left-handed hitter, facing the righty McGrady, and he represents one of the 2 left-handed bats in today's lineup for the Blues. Takes a pitch up and outside, 1-1 now to Nico. Last time Button was up, he was hit by a pitch in the first, and that scored a run. One of the 4 that the Blues collected in the bottom half of the first inning. 1-1. Button bounces it to short. Victorian charges, throws on the run. It's a little high, but Bird stretches and makes the play.
The throw definitely a little high, but Bird makes a good stretch with his 6'2" frame, reaching up with that right arm to corral it. Victorian gets bailed out on not so great throw.
Jackson Bird's got a good wingspan, especially being a pitcher. You want to have some good extension. That works over at first base. So here's Cade O'Hara, who's actually starting at first base for the first time in a Blues uniform at least. First pitch slider misses low. 1-0 to Cade. O'Hara bats 8th today for San Luis Obispo, and he walked in the first inning. That was the last batter that the starter Jackson Shefsky faced before being replaced by McGrady. O'Hara almost hit by a pitch in the head as he dodges it. 2 balls and no strikes.
Watch your lips.
McGrady buzzes the tower, but O'Hara's back in the box, sitting in a 2-0 count. Cade takes a called strike on the outer half, 2-1. O'Hara last night was 0 for 3 with a couple of punchies and a walk. O'Hara dribbles it in front of home plate, but it will roll foul down the third base line for strike 2. Now having a fight here against Max McGrady. Kate O'Hara in a 2-2 count with 1 out. O'Hara has struck out 25 times this summer compared to his 6 walks. The 2-2. O'Hara gets underneath an elevated fastball and pops it into foul ground. The third baseman Brewer is there and will make the catch behind his head for the second out of the inning. A ground out and a pop out. 2 outs here in the third, and it brings up the 9-hitter Brady Alves. Alves, the shortstop, is the only Blues to strike out today, as we're about to go through the lineup for a second time in the bottom of the third inning. Trying to get his feet underneath him after starting his first game since July 3rd against the Arroyo Seco Saints. That was more than a week ago. Alves takes a pitch low, 1 ball and no strikes. Went 0 for 3 that day against the Saints. Drove in 2 with a ground out and a sacrifice fly, and he struck out once. Here's the 1-0. Alves takes a fastball and a strike here. 1-1 to Brady, who redshirted his first season at Butte College. The 1-1. Sweeper in there for a strike. Already seeing a trend with the home plate umpire's zone to right-handed hitters favoring the pitch off the plate. Likes the high one too. A 1-2. Alves swings and misses at a sweeper for strike 3. 1-2-3 inning for San Luis Obispo as we head into the fourth. Blues still up 5-0 on the SLO Blues streaming network. Top of the fourth inning here at Sinsheimer Stadium. Matt Galvin leads it off against Ryan Featherston. Galvin takes a first pitch strike against the former Oregon Duck, who's wheeling and dealing today. Has allowed 4 base hits against the Seagulls and struck out 3 batters. No runs yet this summer. 0-1. Galvin takes outside and got a piece of button behind home plate, and that's ball 1.
Yeah, officially through 20 innings of work without allowing an earned run. I mean, he's only allowed 1 run, period, and it was unearned.
Featherston, in his 20 innings of work, has also struck out 15 batters as well.
Is yours, courtesy of Color Construction.
Galvin sits in a 1-2 count. Pitch. Bouncer right back to Featherston. Underhand flip to O'Hara at first. That's the first out of the inning. Matt Galvin is 1 for 2 today, and it brings up Ethan Bergen, today's catcher, batting 6 for the Seagulls. Bergen got absolutely robbed of extra bases as Jake Hicksonbaugh took flight out in left field to make a great catch. First pitch to Bergen. He takes it, a fastball in the outer black, strike 1. Here's the 0-1. Up and inside, 1 ball and 1 strike to Ethan. Ethan Bergen, also a cinema enjoyer as well, Ryan. Take some notes here. 1-1. Sent out to right center field. Sliding, and Suzuki won't have a play as he picks it out in right. 1 out single for Ethan Bergen.
I like the aggressiveness from Suzuki sliding to try to catch that ball, because even if he didn't trap it, Royal was also crashing hard on it, and either way, Bergen was probably going to end up on first base. I don't think he was getting to second with EJ right there.
That was such a yesterday Seagulls hit. That hits like those kind of defined how San Francisco was able to win the game against the Blues. So many bloop singles, doubles that just stayed inside the left field line. It was a day of frustration for the Blues yesterday. First pitch to Jackson Bird, and it misses inside, 1-0. Today they've turned it around pretty well. They're shutting out San Francisco through 3 innings. Featherston trying to make it 4 here as the Blues are up 5-0. Here's the 1-0. Bird sends it up and out of play down the left field line. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Jackson. Bird flew out to center field with a fly ball to EJ. Ethan Bergen on first base. Featherston works from the stretch. Off the hands, loop to short. Alves makes the play for the second out. 2 gone, and that brings up Jake Brewer, who is one of Featherston's 3 strikeout victims today. Brewer also playing third and was 0 for 2 yesterday against the Blues, a pair of walks and a pair of hit by pitches. The reigning second-team All-Coast Conference player in 2025 with the Kenyatta Colts is uncommitted. Popped up here in foul ground. The first baseman O'Hara is at the fence. He climbs and won't have a play. O'Hara loses his hat in the process. Showing some above average effort here. His first day on the job at first. Short lead at first base. The 0-1. Fouled at home plate. No balls and 2 strikes now to Brewer. Two outs. Here comes the 0-2. Fouled at home plate and sent in front of the Seagulls dugout. SLO Blues currently sit a game and a half outside of a playoff spot behind the Sonoma Stompers, who are 3rd in the CCL North. 0-2. Brewer swings and misses for strike 3. Featherston gets out of the inning, facing 4 batters in the 4th inning. We head into the bottom half of the frame. 5-0 Blues on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. This half inning is brought to you by our friends at Ancient Owl Beer Garden and Bottle Shop, located just down the road from Sinsheimer. They're the home of the Slow Blues Watch Party all season long. There's only one more road game left to watch at Ancient Owl. Choose your beer wisely. E.J. Royal leads it off for San Luis Obispo in the bottom half of the fourth, where they're up 5-0 against the Seagulls. His first pitch swinging and popping it up out of play into the grass bleachers at Sinsheimer Stadium.
EJ is just one of two Blues who haven't reached base safely today, and you would have told me that before the game started, I would have said you're crazy.
Here's the 0-1. Royal grounds it to short. Victorian is there. He gobbles it up, throws it over to first in time. EJ's fast, but not fast enough for the first out of the inning. Third ground ball out of the day for E.J. Royal, and it brings up Jake Hicksenbach, who's having himself an afternoon. A 2-for-2 day, batting in a two-hole and playing in left field where he made a spectacular grab a couple innings ago.
Yeah, this is quite the day for the kid.
First pitch to Hicks. He takes it off the plate outside. Strike one. Hicks today 2-for-2 with a great play out in left and 3 stolen bases. And this is after not starting a home game since June 6th. It's July 12th today. Just proving all the naysayers wrong and showing everyone he belongs in the lineup. Second baseman Ramirez on the backhand throws to first. It was a bang-bang play, but Hicksenbach couldn't get there in time. Ground ball out from Jake, and there's 2 gone in the fourth. Here's ZT 0-for-1 today. Line drive out to center in the second at 100 miles an hour, and a walk in the first where he eventually came around to score. Tolman battling a right ankle injury this summer, but has still been very productive for the Blues. Takes a pitch outside here, 1-0. Productive in a summer where he is a little uncertain as to where the next step is. Is it at San Jose State for another year, or is it an independent baseball? 1-0. Tolman buckled up on a slider as he takes it for strike one. That's always a tough spot to be in as a baseball player, wondering where your next home is going to be, and it's really hard to focus on each pitch, each game, each at-bat at a time, and Tolman has weathered the storm very well. 1-1. Tolman takes it low and outside. It squirts underneath the glove of Bergen behind home plate. 2-1 now. Two outs, a 2-1 count to the former or potentially current Spartan in Zach Tolman. Ducks underneath the fastball here, and it's a 3-1 count now. Went 1-for-3 on July 10th against the Foresters and drove in 2 runs with a sac fly and a single. Here's the 3-1. Tolman ropes it into left field. Galvin, who was playing very deep, can only come in to field it on a hop. 2-out single for Zach Tolman extends the fourth inning.
Zach Tolman has put 2 balls in play today. One at 100 miles an hour. That was that line out in the second. That one at 101 miles an hour.
Just continues to find barrel. That's the recipe for success. As Steve Springer would say, hit ball hard, you win. One of the many hitting gurus out there. Here's Sam Ardois with Zach Tolman at first. Ardois grounds it to short. Victorian gets the force out at second, and the side's retired. Tolman triple digits on a single with 2 outs in the fourth, but he is stranded. Blues still up 5-0, heading into the 5th inning on the Slow Blues streaming network. Top of the 5th inning at Sinsheimer, the Gulls down by 5 against the San Luis Obispo Blues. Ryan Featherston back out there. He delivers a first pitch strike against Mark Zhu, who struck out swinging in the 3rd inning. Featherston has 4 total strikeouts on the day, and he is in a flow state against San Francisco. Zhu swings and misses here on a slider outside, 0-2. The right fielder in an 0-2 count against Featherston. The pitch. Taken outside, a slider. He tried to bait Zhu with it, but he holds up his swing. 1-2. From the windup, here's the pitch. Zhu checks his swing. He went around on the changeup. That's strike 3 to Mark Zhu, and the 2nd strikeout of the day for the right fielder. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of Ks.
Brewer and Zhu are just struggling against Ryan Featherston, 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts.
The last 2 batters in today's order for San Francisco, those 2 names. As we flip it to the top now, and Josh Hansen, who is the exact opposite. He's a perfect 2 for 2 against Featherston with 2 singles. First pitch. Hansen with a high bouncer to 3rd. Artois gets a candy hop, fires it over to 1st in time, and that's the 2nd out of the 5th. 2 quick ones for Ryan Featherston in the top half of the inning as Alan Ramirez digs in. Ramirez is 1 for 2 today with a single in the 1st and an error in the 3rd. Murillo, check that, Alves slipping at shortstop. Grounder to 3rd, and it's foul. Blues put up 4 runs in the 1st inning on 1 base hit and 4 walks, including a hit by pitch as well. Here's the 0-1. Blocked in the dirt by Button. Low and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike now. Here's the 1-1. Ramirez just takes it off the plate outside. 2 balls and a strike now from Featherston. The 2-1. Yanked fastball misses outside. 3 balls and 1 strike now. This is Ramirez, who is from Santa Clara, California. Is hit this past season with the San Jose State Spartans and redshirted. 3-1 misses inside. That's a 2-out walk issued from Featherston.
First walk he's allowed all day long, and he's been out there for a good while now. Could be a small sign of his control waning a little bit, as that was pitch. So next pitch will be 69.
No one's getting loose in the bullpen for San Luis Obispo right now. As Caden Victorian steps in with a runner on 1st and 2 outs. Victorian hits it off the mound. Diving is Alves, and he can't make the play. Rounding 2nd is Ramirez. He'll head into 3rd. The throw is a little offline, and he's in there safely. A base hit for Caden Victorian keeps the 5th inning alive with 2 outs and puts runners at the corners for the Gulls. Good effort there by Brady Alves at shortstop, putting his body on the line. He was able to bat it down and fully keep it from rolling into center field, but didn't end up doing much as Ramirez reaches 3rd. So Victorian's at 1st, and it's Ethan Johnson who is 0 for 2 today. Johnson takes inside. That's ball 1. One of the 2 left-handed hitters in today's lineup for the Gulls, with 2 outs and a 1-0 against the righty Featherston. Takes a strike here, and even 1-1 now. Johnson from San Jose, California, heading to Missouri to play his first season of college baseball after graduating Kings Academy High School. The 1-1. Hard bouncing ball down the first base line and foul in front of the Blues dugout, 1-2. This past season at Kings Academy High, he played in 25 games and had a .377 average. Drove in 30 runs with his 29 hits and had 5 home runs. 9 doubles, no triples. 1144 OPS for the lefty. Here's the 1-2. Flinch and a take downstairs. 2-2 now to Ethan. The true freshman stands in at 6'2", 215 pounds. With his .260 batting average this summer, he's got runners at the corners. 2-2. Popped up off the hands, and it's foul out of the stadium. We'll do it again at 2-2. Has driven in 9 runs this summer for San Francisco on his 13 hits, 1 home run and 3 doubles. 12 walks to his 18 strikeouts so far. Pick over to first, and the runner Victorian's in there in time. The lefty Johnson with his red batting gloves awaits Featherston. 2-2. Check swing. Did he go? No. Full count now to Ethan.
Now becomes a huge pitch. The runner will be off from first. Full count and 2 outs. Against cleanup and one of the better hitters, a Division I commit, looking to eat into this Blues lead.
Not just Division I, SEC Division I. That's the cream of the crop of high school or of college baseball. 3-2, it's bounced foul. Staying alive here against Ryan Featherston, who's also a Power 5 baseball player, or Power 4 now, from the University of Oregon. Wind blowing straight in from center. Blues up 5-0 in the top of the 5th. With 2 outs, here's the payoff. Lined and caught by Owls. Triple digits off the stick of Ethan Johnston. 2 runners are stranded on base. The Blues maintain their lead and continue to shut out the Seagulls 5-0. We're halfway through at Sinsheimer on the Slow Blues Shooting Network. Diego Murillo leads it off in the bottom half of the 5th inning against the San Francisco Seagulls. After a night where the Blues lost 15-3 against this very same opponent, they're now up 5-0 halfway through this ball game. Murillo, his first pitch swinging and missing at a slider from Max McGrady for strike 1. Jackson Shefsky started this game for the Gulls, but couldn't even make it out of the first inning, only recording 1 out. It's been McGrady the rest of the way. The 0-1. Murillo late on a fastball as he sends it straight back. Now having to be tough with 2 in an 0-2 count. Diego is seeing it really well lately. An RBI single in the second, and he reached on fielder's choice in the first, where he eventually came around to score. But that doesn't tell the story. The 3-for-4 day yesterday with 2 RBIs and a double and a run scored, that does tell you the story. Murillo leaves it up and outside. That's ball 1.
And making himself a case to be this week's player of the week with his performances in the last couple of games.
Zach Tollerman is the reigning Blues player of the week. He's won that award 2 weeks in a row. Murillo takes a pitch high and inside, and now an even 2-2 count to Diego. Plays a gnarly middle infield too. You can stick him at short, you can stick him at second. We haven't seen it this summer, but if you wanted to, you could probably put him at third.
You put him anywhere.
2-2. Murillo spins this one up and off to the right out of play. We'll do it again on a 2-2 count to Diego.
I'd feel comfortable with him behind the dish. He's a pure athlete. You give him a couple of days to get down blocking and a pop time and stuff like that, he'd be a pretty solid catcher, I feel.
I'd be curious to see that. He's got plenty of athleticism on the diamond. I'm sure it would translate behind the dish. The 2-2. Diego sends it the opposite way in front of Zhu, who makes the catch running to his left. A slicer down the right field line, but couldn't find real estate at the hands of Dylan Zhu.
It's the first time Diego Murillo hasn't reached base safely since the 5th inning of last night's game.
So with 1 out now, it's Kosei Suzuki, who, like Diego Murillo, is somewhat of a Swiss Army knife. You can stick him at second, you can stick him in the corner outfield spot, you can put him at third. These are all spots where we have seen him this summer with the Blues. And today, he's the right fielder. Swings at the first pitch and bounces it down the third baseline, a base hit. He rounds first and heads into second base. Galvin scoops it up, and Suzuki is in there standing. 1 out double for Kosei, and a runner in scoring position for the Blues.
A little on top of it, but hit it hard enough down the line that Brewer wasn't able to get it even with the diving effort. And Suzuki, who is a guy that the Blues rely on for some pop into the gaps right there, he does just that with a double down the line.
That's his 6th double of the summer, and that's second on the team in two baggers. He sits behind Sam Ardois, who has 8. Here's Nico Button now with Suzuki at second base and the wind jetting out to center. Button takes the first pitch low, and that's ball 1. Nico is 0 for 1 today. A ground ball out to the shortstop Victorian, and was hit by a pitch in the first. That brought in a run, part of the 4 that the Blues got in that frame. 1-0. Button pops it up into left. Galvin takes a couple steps in, saunters and makes the catch. Suzuki bluffs off second, but he'll just stay there.
Comes down to O'Hara now if the Blues want to extend this lead. Base hit would get it done with good speed on second.
Cade O'Hara bats 8th today, and he's 0 for 1. A pop out to the third baseman Brewer, and a walk in the first inning. We've seen him have his fair share of struggles at the dish, especially after missing some time with a concussion that he sustained in the middle of a game down in Orange County against the Riptide. O'Hara swings at the first pitch and sends it straight back for strike 1. O'Hara getting some reps at first base today, which is something we've never seen him do in a Blues uniform. Primarily a shortstop and a relief pitcher for San Luis Obispo. It's a newer look for Dean Traynor and his squad this afternoon. The 0-1. O'Hara takes a pitch inside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, and I think he's just experimenting because you've lost a couple of guys over the last couple of weeks, and now you really only have about 6, maybe 7 infielders to go to.
The 1-1. O'Hara takes a slider low, 2 balls and a strike. And you want to be careful, especially with Zach Tollerman, who's dealing with that right ankle injury. This is a guy who leads the team in OPS heading into today's game with a 997 clip. You want to make sure he's healthy and so the Blues can make a playoff push. A 2-1. O'Hara chops it foul down the third base line. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. SLO is a game and a half out of a playoff spot. The Sonoma Stompers are in 3rd place. The Blues are in 4th. Walnut Creek has the lead in the north, and the Merchants are a game behind them. These next 2 games are crucial for the Blues. You got to win out to keep your chances alive for the CCL North postseason. 2-2. Yanked pitch, misses outside, and now a full count to Cade O'Hara.
And talk a little bit more about the infield and what's been going on with this team. You lose Brendan Comerford, who was one of your best players, everyday third baseman, started the year at first. You also lose Eli Henderson in the last couple of weeks, so it's two middle infielders that you're missing.
The payoff, O'Hara pops it up to shallow left. The shortstop, Victorian, is out there, and he will make the flat-footed grab to retire the side. Suzuki hits a double down the third base line, but he's stranded in scoring position. The Blues still up 5-0 heading into the 6th inning on the SLO Blues streaming network. New pitcher in for the Blues. Ryan Featherston's day is done. It's now the place kicker from Texas who's committed to Stephen F. Austin, Charlie Ferris. He will face Mac Galvin to begin the top of the 6th inning as he takes the first pitch low and outside for ball 1.
Gotta pick Charlie Ferris's brain one day. He went through the mindset switching from Division I football to Division I baseball. And how?
1-1 is fouled just to the right of us, and that's strike 1. I mean, this story is so complex for Charlie Ferris because you start out at a Power 4 football team as a place kicker, the pinnacle, you could say, of college football at the University of Texas. You're a kicker there, you're on the top of the college football world, and then you switch gears and throw 90 miles an hour going to Stephen F. Austin. You don't need a raconteur to tell you that story and have it be colorful. The topic alone is entertaining. This one's popped up into right. Suzuki calls everyone off, and he will make the running catch for the first out.
I mean, in the last 2 years, they've been first in their conference. Weird. I can't say the same conference because they were in the Big 12 and then the SEC, but back-to-back first-place finishes on a Division I football team, and you switch it up and you travel a few hours down the road to SFA, and now you're going to throw baseballs at the Division I level instead of kick footballs.
I'll say something about Texas. Hashtag that was targeting.
How do you I just don't even get it too. How do you decide that I'm done with football, but I'm not done playing sports. I want to go play Division I college baseball, and then how do you even get recruited?
Because he's a stud.
Yeah.
0-1 misses high and inside to Ethan Bergen, today's catcher, who's 1 for 2.
Way outside.
Time is called at home plate. The 1-1. Bounced on top of home plate. Ferris moves to his right. Pitchers are athletes too. 2 outs in the 6th inning. Nice play by Charlie Ferris, moving to his right, throwing across his body.
That was an acrobatic play from the pitcher. And Blues are rolling defensively right now.
SLO is 5-2 when they don't make an error. Trying to make it 6 here. They have no errors. They have a lead in the 6th inning. So they still got a ways to go. But they're on the right track. Here's Jackson Bird, or check that, it's a new hitter. Pinch hitter for San Francisco. It's no longer the lefty Bird. It's now Derek Waldvogel, outfielder from Skyline Junior College. The 1-0. Waldvogel lines it into the 5-hole, a base hit. That was smoked off the lumber, and he's aboard with a 2-out single.
94 miles an hour right through the 5-5 hole. It was only about 3 or 4 feet away from Ardois, but he was playing on the infield grass, and it was too hard hit. He had no chance to make that one.
Man, they call it the hot corner for a reason. If I was at third and I saw 95 coming right at me, I'm hitting the latrine right after that play.
Another pitch hitter now.
It's no longer Jake Brewer. The fresh face is Finn Whalen, who started yesterday's game.
Threw 120 pitches in yesterday's game, and now he's batting today.
Finn Whalen's in beast mode.
A jack of all trades for this Seagulls team that honestly doesn't have a deep roster. So
yeah. First pitch, and Whalen sends it straight back for strike 1.
Yeah. Yesterday on the bump, he threw 7 innings and gave up just 2 runs on 6 hits.
He was dealing against that Blues offense last night. They just could not figure him out in their 15-3 loss. 0-1. Whalen takes high and inside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
some more context on Charlie Ferris. He did pitch in high school at Cypress Ranch, where he threw 73 innings and had a 1.62 ERA through just over 1,000 pitches. Opponent batting average sub 200.
Swing and a miss, strike two.
63 strikeouts to his 21 walks. He was a pretty solid pitcher at Cypress Ranch out in Texas.
That is his junior season at Cypress as well.
Yeah, there's no stats for the senior year.
Here's the 1-2 in the dirt. Button keeps it in front. Nice block by Nico. Finn Whalen doesn't chase 2-2. Blues up 5-0 on the top of the sixth. 2-2 with 2 outs, a runner on first. The pitch, slider on the outside corner, Shabuya! Runner stranded on first base as Charlie Ferris gets his first strikeout of the day. We head into the bottom half of the frame on the SLO Blues streaming network. This inning is brought to you by our friends at Educational Employees Credit Union, conveniently located in Paso Robles. They can also be found at myeecu.org. Experience smarter banking with Educational Employees Credit Union. Brady Alves leads it off against Max McGrady in the bottom half of the sixth inning. Blues up 5-0. Alves takes a strike on a slider, 1-1 now to Brady, who's 0 for 2 today with a couple of Ks. And a flurry of defensive changes as well. Matt Galvin moves to center. Finn Whalen is now in left. Hansen's at third and Waldvogel's at first. 1-1. Alves swings and misses for strike two on another sweeper. Here's the 1-2. Alves rolls inside of an off-speed pitch inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Pitch ducked down into the zone. Alves is lucky he didn't get rung up right there.
Grady trying to workshop that slider against the right-handed hitting Alves. It's a right-on-right matchup. Here's the 2-2. Alves bounces it to third. Hansen, who was playing deep, throws it across the diamond, offline, but the first baseman, Waldvogel, kept his foot on the bag in time. Waldvogel just checked into this game and has already made a nice play on defense.
They don't like it. By they, I mean the Blues. They thought that he was off the bag.
It looked close. I mean, that throw made Waldvogel stretch to his arm side. It was kind of an awkward play, but kept the foot on the bag.
The Blues first base coach is still talking to the first base umpire about it.
Here's E.J. Royal. He's 0 for 3 with a trio of ground ball outs. First pitch. Royal takes it outside, 1-0. So again, Whalen, yesterday's starting pitcher for San Francisco, who threw 120 pitches, is now in left. Royal takes a strike here, 1-1. Hansen, who was in center, is now at third, and Mac Galvin, who is in left, is now in center. Waldvogel replaced Jackson Bird at first base. Just made a nice stretch over there to make an out. 1-1. EJ takes it all the way on a bender that wrinkled into the zone for strike 2. Jake Hixenbaugh stands on deck. He's 2 for 3. Here's the 1-2. Royal pokes it the other way and rolls it through the 4-hole, a base hit. First hit of the day for EJ. And he's aboard with 1 out.
Stuck his butt out, stuck the barrel out there, and slapped it the other way for a base hit.
Sometimes it doesn't have to be the prettiest textbook swing. You're just trying to compete up there and want to throw the barrel on the ball. EJ just exemplified it right there. Here's Hixenbaugh, who has a couple of hits today, as well as 3 stolen bases. First pitch almost hits his shoe tops, but it misses, 1-0. Hadn't started a home game at Sinsheimer, a league home game at Sinsheimer since June 6 against the Menlo Park Legends. Pick over to first, and Royals there in time. Now finally back in the starting lineup here on July 12th against the San Francisco Seagulls, just a couple days before the All-Star break. Here's the 1-0. Hixenbaugh takes a floater in there for a strike. Long hold from the pitcher, McGrady, as he delivers. Runner goes. The throw goes to second base. EJ is gunned out by a few steps. Royal has had some pretty bad luck trying to steal bases this summer. Stole them at a lot higher rate in 2024. And he's caught here.
Yeah, he's looked a little slow on the base pass recently, and maybe part of this turfus. He's not getting the best jumps. Hard to get some traction going to second, but he's a speedy guy. It's not easy to throw him out.
2-1. Jake Hixenbaugh checks his swing, and he went around for strike 2. Zach Tollerman stands on deck. He recorded a 101-mile-an-hour base hit the last time he was up. The 2-2. Hixenbaugh hits this one hard, but it's foul down the first baseline. Blues still up 5-0. They're shutting out the San Francisco Seagulls through 6 innings. The Gulls have put up 7 hits and have no runs to show for it. They have 1 more hit than the Blues, who have 5. It all comes down to the walks that they had in the first. The 2-2. Hixenbaugh takes it in the dirt. Now a 3-ball, 2-strike count to Jake. There were a total of 4 walks and a hit by pitch in the first inning. Since then, no Blues batters have walked. The 3-2. Hixenbaugh takes it, strike 3. McGrady's pumped up as the Seagulls will go on offense. Entering the final third of this ball game, the Blues up 5-0 against San Francisco, as I'll hand it off to Ryan Giacomini the rest of the way on the SLO Blues streaming network.
(9-1-2) due up for the San Francisco Seagulls and a 5-0 ball game. No runs have been scored since the second inning for either team, as it'll be Mark Zhu leading it off against Charlie Ferris in his second inning of work. Ferris in his first inning gave up a hit, struck out a batter looking as he pumps in strike one to Mark Zhu.
Well, Blues feeling comfortable right now out of slam range against the San Francisco Seagulls. They want to keep it that way. It all starts with the pitching here.
Want to keep it that way indeed, as Ferris works from the windup, throws a curveball for a called strike two. Pounding the strike zone. Making the Seagulls hitters work has been the key to success for the Blues all day long. Featherston, the starter, only walked one batter in 5 innings. Ferris hasn't allowed a walk thus far in his inning of work. Swung on a miss, strike three. Mark Zhu goes down on 3 pitches. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. His third strikeout of the evening.
And that's the second time Zhu has struck out on 3 pitches as well. All 3 of his strikeouts today have been leadoff strikeouts too. In terms of setting the tone, Zhu is doing the exact opposite.
When you look at the 8th spot for the San Francisco Seagulls, it started off as Jake Brewer, who went 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Both of those ended the 2nd and 4th inning. And then Finn Whalen came in and struck out. That ended the 6th inning. And Mark Zhu has struck out to lead off the 3rd, 5th, and 7th. So the last out and the first out of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 have all been strikeouts. Here's the 0-1 to the leadoff hitter Hansen. It's chopped on the ground. One hop to Ardois, who will pump it in his glove and throw it over to O'Hara at first. 1 pitch, 1 out after the 3-pitch strikeout. As it'll bring up Alan Ramirez, who is 1 for 2 in today's ball game. A hit, reached on an error, and walked. He was stranded all 3 times.
I'm getting deja vu from the 5th inning, Ryan. That's how that inning started, was a Mark Zhu strikeout on 3 pitches, and then a candy hop ground ball out from Josh Hansen to Sam Ardois. If history repeats itself, Alan Ramirez will walk.
5th inning when Alan Ramirez walk, as Nate mentioned, followed by a Caden Victorian single and then a line out from Ethan Johnson. After the strikeout and the ground out, So here's the 0-1. Misses inside the first ball of the inning from Charlie Ferris. Ramirez, originally from Santa Clara, about to play Division I baseball at his third college. Previously played at West Valley College and then Mission College, and now playing at San Jose State. Joining Zach Tollerman as that one is fisted into left field on the run as Hicksonbon. He's going to watch it drop in front of him for a base hit. A 2-out flared hit from Alan Ramirez, his second hit of the evening.
Hey, I'm not sure why Hicksonbon didn't go for this one. I know it was a sinker out into left field. It was down the left field line, but it's not like you have to be conservative. You're not in a tight game. Like I said, we're out of slam range here. There was no runners on. Hicksonbon, I think, with a slide, could have gotten there. I mean, we saw him make a diving play earlier this game. He has the ability. I'd be curious to know what the mindset was on Jake to let that one fall.
Regardless, it's a 2-out hit, and that brings up Victorian, who got a hit in the 5th inning. He also popped out and grounded into a double play as that one first pitch is chopped foul. Duel will glove it, but in foul territory, and it'll be strike one. That double play was a big one. It looked like the Seagulls were going to have another first inning like they did last night when they scored 2 runs. But a ball hit right back up the middle. Murillo was able to glove it, tap second himself, and then give a strong throw over to Kate O'Hara. Gave the Blues 2 outs and inevitably stopped the run as the 0-1 pitch misses just near the hands of Victorian for ball 1. Ferris takes a look at first. Now another one over his right shoulder and will throw over. Tag is not in time. Kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It was funny because during the home run derby today, we were out there with some interns before getting warmed up, and we were teaching one of the interns who's has never played baseball before how to pick off as the slider misses high and in. And it was funny because he would come set and then he would twist his entire body to look over at first, and we were like, no, you can't do that.
Cannot do that. That is a balk.
And then he started looking over his right shoulder. We're like, dude, just look over the left shoulder. It's a little easier. I guess if Ferris were teaching, he'd say look over the right shoulder. And another move to first is just late.
I just tried doing that. It's not comfortable.
I also can't see much. I don't know how I would see first base.
Corner of your eye, probably.
Yeah. If I look to my left, I could see all of first base. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Deuce is wild now to Victorian. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. A runner on. 5-0 Blues in the top half of the 7th inning. Victorian was a strikeout victim once yesterday in his 4-for-6 day. Here's the offering. Runner goes. Swung on a miss. Strike 3. No throw to second as the strikeout ends the inning. Ferris gets 2 strikeouts in the 7th, and the Blues bats are back up 5-0 on the SLO Blues streaming network.
Folks, it's time to get out of your
Zach Tollerman leads it off. He's ripped his last 2 baseballs that he's put in play. 100-mile-an-hour line out and a 101-mile-an-hour base hit. As he watches ball 1, you got to think maybe Max McGrady is going to be working around Tollerman. Acting as the leadoff batter here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Blues lead at 5-0. Slider misses high. 2 balls and no strikes. To the Spartan from San Jose State.
Tollerman sent those line drives hot to go.
The 2-0 hits Tollerman square in the shoulder blade. That one never was close to the strike zone, and kerplunk right on the back.
Yeah, that one hurts. He's been dealing with some lower back issues, and the headliner has been the right ankle for Zach Tollerman. Anytime anyone gets hit, it's never a good sign or a good thing to watch, but especially in this case, it's something you want to have to keep a close eye on for as the manager and trainer heads out to check on Zach Tollerman.
As they tend to Tollerman, assistant coach Scheitz will pick up the bat and gear. Tollerman will Tollerman will get pinch ran 4 by Gavin Constantine. And Ardois will come to the plate, who is currently on a little bit of a hot streak. 4 games in a row he's had an extra base hit, and this might be his last opportunity to keep that alive. Make it 5 games. Here in the bottom of the 7th, he has a walk, a line out, and a ground out, but no extra base hits. Constantine's the new runner. One of the fastest Blues still available on the roster. Now takes his short lead off of first for Ardois, who waggles his bat as the pick over to first is not in time.
I still want to race him.
It'd be a good race. Ardois had a double in the 4th yesterday. Day before that, a double in the 7th. And his start before that, he had a... So that one is popped up on the infield. Constantine was on the move, and he'll have to head back to first. It's going to be caught for the first out of the inning. To finish that about Ardois. Double yesterday in the 4th. He had a double the day before against the Foresters in the 7th. And then the day before that on the road, he had a triple. And in the game before that, a double in the 4th again. That was against the one at Greek Crawdads. That's his 4-game extra base hit streak. He might have just squandered his last opportunity to keep that streak alive. So now there's 1 out with a runner on first for Diego Murillo, as he fists that one foul right towards the Blues dugout. Murillo, 1 for 3 in today's game, an RBI knock in the 2nd, an RBI fielder's choice in the 1st. He stole a bag and scored as well in the 1st, and then lined out on a well-hit ball in the 5th. Murillo has had 2 or more hits in each of the last 2 games. Looking to do the same here and give the Blues an opportunity to extend the lead as Constantine takes off for second. The throw is on the money. Constantine is gunned down trying for second, and the pitcher, McGrady, could not believe the throw from his catcher, Bergen, and gave him a round of applause.
Yeah, he loved that. His hands went on his head immediately, a great big smile on the pitcher, McGrady's head, and on his face, and that's the kind of reaction you want from your pitcher. You want a hype man to get you going, and you help your guy out like that and getting that out. You want some gratitude there. That's a good relationship.
The 0-2 swung on and sliced into right center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Gets away from the center fielder, Galvin, a little bit, but he's able to corral it and keep Murillo at first. 3 days in a row with multiple hits for Murillo.
Man, this kid is raking right now. This one slicing into the right center gap, just puts bat on ball. He is the guy that I think on the Blues, more than anyone, embodies the approach he puts in batting practice into the game. That looks like a swing he would put in BP, and he's translated it into the game. I love it.
And he mentioned in his last at-bat how he's a guy who just does all the right things. He plays for the right reasons, and right there, two-strike approach, he just sends the fastball right where it came from, gets himself on base. He takes off on the first pitch, testing Bergen again. This throw, same spot, on the money once again, and McGrady can't believe it once again. He goes straight to his catcher, Bergen, to give him a high five. And the Seagulls are out of the inning on 2 caught stealings. Blues maintain their 5-run lead going into the 8th inning on the SLO Blues streaming network. The Gulls have recorded a hit in every single inning but have nothing to show for it, and will look to get on the board in the 8th inning, leading off with the designated hitter, Ethan Johnson. Red BG's batting from the left side as he watches ball 1 on a changeup from Charlie Ferris, who's out there for his 3rd inning of work, giving up 2 hits, struck out 3. No runs, no walks in those 2 innings for Ferris. Blues pitching has only allowed 1 walk today, as that fastball is called strike right at the letters from Ferris to Johnson.
Johnson may be the most talented batter on this roster for San Francisco, but it didn't always seem that way when he first started playing baseball, especially at his first ever tryout in the sport.
1-1, misses up and away, 2 balls and 1 strike.
After hitting the ball, instead of running to first base or to any base, Ethan Johnson just ran off the field in his first ever baseball tryout.
Naturally growing up, he played hockey and was a goalie. So he watches that fastball for strike 2.
That explains why he ran off the field. Goalies are freaks.
Also might correlate with the good hand-eye coordination he has now with the bat in his hand rather than a stick. Able to see bat to ball, same way he saw puck to stick as he watches that one float away for ball 3.
If I ripped like 15 slap shots as hard as I could at you, you have NHL quality goalie gear, a glove, a stick, and everything, how many could you save?
None, because I would curl up in a ball, probably and cry. Swinging and missing for strike 3 is Johnson.
I mean, I don't know how hard I could slap a hockey puck.
That's true. I'd probably just be so scared of just like getting hit.
How about if Connor McDavid was in front of you?
I just told you if you hit 15, I would probably just literally I'd probably sit there, pull my phone out, and call my mom and just ask her to come pick me up. It's now Matt Galvin. He watches that slider for strike 1. Ferris has been pumping it into the strike zone. He's thrown 22 strikes to his 12 balls and his 2 1/3 innings pitched. Matt Galvin, 12 for 63 on the summer with the Gulls, as he watches that one high for ball 1. 9 RBIs, no home runs. He had a base hit in today's game in the second. That led off the second inning. Since then, he grounded out and popped out. 1-1, misses upstairs, 2 balls and 1 strike.
And speaking of hockey, Matt Galvin hails from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Hockey mecca, you could say.
I'm sure he played in his youth. The 2-1 is swung on and fouled back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Blues are 15-13 in CCL. They're a game and a half back of a playoff spot. Mathematically, after today's game, they cannot be in the playoffs, even if the Stompers and Merchants lost, as called out on strikes. Now on a fastball, clipped the upper part of the zone for strike 3. Matt Galvin goes down. 2 strikeouts on the inning for Charlie Ferris, and his 5th of the day.
Now you talk about filling the zone, Ryan. Not only is he filling it, he's attacking these hitters. You'll love to see that, get another strikeout against Matt Galvin. That's the first time he's gone down on strikes today. Ferris is feeling it, and he's feeling aggressive.
Now it's Galvin, now it's Bergen, who today is also 1 for 3. As Ferris throws a curveball for a called strike. A line out in the second, a ground out in the 6th, and sandwich in between those was a base hit in the 4th.
Bergen also famously gunned down 2 runners this past half inning.
Bergen getting his 13th at-bat of the summer for the Gulls right now. He's 2 for 12 with 2 RBIs. In those previous 12 against Ferris, who has a 1.23 ERA in league play. As the 0-2 is swung on and popped up, playable in foul territory for O'Hara, and the shortstop turned first baseman will make the play on the run before crashing into the netting. A 1-2-3 inning from Ferris, first time he's done that, as we head into the bottom of the 8th inning on the SLO Blues streaming network. Kosei Suzuki will lead it off against the new pitcher. It's David Orlinski, the Bruin from UCLA, who this summer has pitched in just 2/3 of an inning, giving up 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, no strikeouts. He faces Kosei Suzuki in a half inning, brought to you by Studio Design Group Architects. Talented team at Studio Design Group Architects can help you design, plan, or get permits for a space. Studio Design Group and their collaborative philosophy have you covered. Visit sdgarchitects.com to learn more. Suzuki takes ball 1 high from the new pitcher, working primarily out of the stretch as Suzuki rips that one down the left field line. It's going to drop down for a fair ball. Suzuki rounds first. He heads for second. He's going to have a stand-up double, his second double of the day.
Can I get that one with no onion, please? Double doubles for Kosei Suzuki.
I'd take that thing spread only, personally. Now it'll be Nico Button with a runner in scoring position and no outs. Blues already have a 5-run lead, but are looking to tack on more. Button, one of 2 lefties in the lineup for the Blues today, as Bergen will go talk to Orlinski. Orlinski is showcasing on his Twitter the gear of the Bruins, but there are no stats for him at UCLA. As the first pitch to Button is a called strike. The most recent stats we have on him outside of this summer was at West Los Angeles College, where he threw in 6 appearances, 11 and a third innings, 6 hits, 6 earned runs, 14 walks to his 10 strikeouts. Kosei Suzuki now velcros up his red oven mitt on that left hand. This Button looks to score him from second base after the leadoff double. This changeup misses low, 2 balls and 1 strike. Spent 1 year as a Wildcat. Class of 2021, that's in high school, where he graduated from. His Button pops that one up. Down the right field line, sliding and not getting there is the right fielder, Zoo. It'll be a prolonged strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And I thought Mark had a play on that one. Sliding into the shadows. I kind of lost it for a second there because of that darkness, but couldn't come up with it.
Here's a 2-2, a changeup. Good take there from Button. He triggered, but didn't go around. The count runs full. Because Suzuki goes, swung on and grounded to second. Gobbled up by Ramirez. He'll throw it over to first. A productive out for Button on the hit and run. Suzuki moves up. And he's 90 feet away from scoring for Kate O'Hara.
And good jump from Kosei. He jetted towards third base, and there was nothing the pitcher Orlinski could do. Suzuki was in there standing no matter what. And a nice job by Button to put that one in play on the opposite side of the diamond, too. So it made that play at third base that much harder. The second baseman, Ramirez, didn't even think about it. Just go over to first, move that runner over to third, and extend more and more out of slam range. Kate O'Hara has a chance to do that here.
Orlinski previously played in the West Coast League for the Bend Elks. Looks like maybe he dealt with an injury as O'Hara's first pitch swinging, tapped on to third. The throw to first is way offline. Suzuki will score. O'Hara won't move up any bases, but the Blues tack on another. It is 6-0 San Luis Obispo.
Yeah, an E5 right there, scores in another run for the Blues. And Kosei Suzuki stopping halfway between third and home. When you have 1 out and you see downward angle off the bat, a ground ball in this case from Kate O'Hara, put your head down and running. Haven't seen that too often with a base runner stopping in the middle of the path, but it works for him because the throw went above the head of Waldvogel, and Suzuki could just come in and score easily.
First pitch to the 9-hitter Brady Alves is a ball, as looks like Orlinski was hurt at some point, and the 2023 season that was cut short for him, as Brady Alves hits that one pretty well, but on the ground. 5-4-3, double play to end the inning. All the way around the horn, as Brady Alves grounds into a double play and is retired for the 4th time in today's ballgame. Blues tack on a run. We head into the 9th. 3 outs for the Seagulls to get 6 runs or more on the SLO Blues streaming network. Charlie Ferris back out there. Inning number 4 for him. He sat down. The goals in order last time. That was actually the first time all game that the goals have gone down in order. Prior to that, they had recorded at least 1 hit in every single inning. 2 in the first, and then a hit in the second, all the way through the 7th. As Marcotte gets a swing and miss out of Derek Waldvogel for strike 2. Waldvogel behind, Ferris in the driver's seat as he throws the changeup, and the combio doesn't get a swing. From Waldvogel, who pinch hit in the 6th and ripped a base hit through the 5-5 hole. Pinch hit for Jackson Bird, who in this series against the Blues is 0 for 8 with 4 strikeouts. A 1-2 slider, called strike 3. Some more hot sauce, bottle number 11.
Lucky number 93. Please report to the marketing team to claim your prize.
Strikeout looking. Ferris has 6 strikeouts on the day today. First pitch, fastball, called strike to Finn Whalen. He pinch hit for Jake Brewer and struck out looking in the 6th inning. This one is flared and caught and dropped by O'Hara in foul territory. O'Hara squeezed it with that big first baseman's mitt, but it popped right out, and it'll be a strike to Finn Whalen, and it's 0-2.
Oh, man, I thought Cade had this play for sure. He couldn't squeeze it all the way in, getting adjusted to that new glove, and drops it in foul territory, so a new life for Whalen. Still in an 0-2 count, though. Out
of the windup, Whalen awaits. Here's the 0-2. Slider swung on and hit softly to short. Brady Alves will take a few steps in. His throw over to first is a little off, but O'Hara able to stretch and make the grab for the second out. A 6-3 ground out for Finn Whalen. He's 0 for 2 at the dish.
Look at Cato O'Hara over at first base, huh? How about that stretch?
Blues are 1 out away from winning this game and getting the revenge after losing by 12 last night to the Gulls. Ferris looking for a 4-inning save as the first pitch to Mark Zhu is fouled off. Zhu trying to avoid the sombrero. Right here, he is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, all of them swinging. Here's the 0-1. Swung on in line to third. It'll be caught on a hop by Ardois. His throw to third is on the money. Blues win it 6-0, and they get their revenge. And we will have a rubber match tomorrow at 2 o'clock start with the Gulls and the Blues to see who's going to take the season series as San Francisco drops this one and the Blues get their 16th win of CCL play.
2 hour and 27-minute game at Sinsheimer Stadium, and a very good win for the Blues to come back after last night. They're trying to go for that playoff push. It's wins like these that matter so much. Ideally, you'd like to get a sweep against San Francisco, a team that has been eliminated from playoff contention already. Too late for that now. Only thing you can control now is your future. You take care of the game today. Now come back tomorrow, grab another one.
Who is today's dog of the day? Featherston? 5 innings of work, 6 hits, no runs, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. Is it Ferris, who threw 4 innings, gave up 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and struck out 6? Or is it a batter on the other side? Maybe Murillo, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, a run, a stolen base. Suzuki had 2 doubles.
Wow, man. This is tough.
This is tough.
This is really tough. Should we throw it in the chat, or should we ask the press box?
Let's do a little bit of both. Let's see what the press box thinks. Guys, who's our dog of the day?
We're asking our statisticians.
The staff? Just combine them together? Featherston and Ferris?
Okay.
I don't hate that.
I don't hate that either.
Okay, let's do it. A double dog of the day. Get them in a Polaroid together. Get it up on the wall. We still haven't showed the fans what our dog of the day wall looks like.
We'll get that up there.
Yeah, should we do it? I could do it now.
Are you able to?
Yeah, but, Nate, I could do a lot of things.
let's do it.
This is what the dog of the day wall currently looks like. You can see we got our, 16 dogs of the day. It's about to be 17 after today's game.
There's our playoff odds on the right as well.
Yes, playoff odds on the right. Blues are trying to still make the playoffs. They're still out of the playoff contention after today's game, but they are getting closer to securing a spot in the playoffs. Let's take a quick look at the scores in the CCL and see where they stand as the Merchants are beating the Dads 5-1. That's an important game, and the Stompers are up on the Legends 3-0. Also an important game for the Blues.
Yeah, the Stompers ahead of San Luis Obispo right now by a game and a half. The Legends trail the Blues by 2.5 games as well. So really, the one between the Legends and the Stompers determines if the Legends will stay on the same level as the Blues in terms of games apart, and the Stompers will stay on the same level as well. So who's going to catch up to who? And the Merchants and the Crawdads, this is a battle for first place right here. Alameda and Walnut Creek neck and neck in that race. So yes. Stay tuned.
So the Blues jump up a game. They improve to 16-13. If the Stompers were to lose, they're currently winning 3-0, but if they were to lose, the Blues would be a full game behind them. And then if the Merchants were to win, as they are right now, the Blues would still be a game behind the Merchants, and they would also be a game behind the Dads. So actually, if Sonoma loses and Alameda wins, there will be a 3-way tie for first place, and then the Blues will be in fourth, a game behind all 3 of those teams.
Wow.
So the Blues trying to find their way into the playoffs. It's going to be an uphill battle, but the good news, they got a couple games against the Merchants. Those are going to be big games. They got another game against the Gulls tomorrow at 2. Get your tickets at bluesbaseball.com or catch us here on the SLO Blues Streaming Network Nate Mills and Ryan Giacomini, as we will send it off for the evening. Hope you have a great rest of your evening. Blues win it 6-0.